Welcome to my channel, Liberty Old Coins, another exciting episode where we dive deep into the hidden treasures that might be hiding right in your pocket or payday. First up, let's talk about the star of our show, the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin. Now, you might be looking at this golden colored dollar and thinking, I've seen these before, what's the big deal? And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. The United States Mint introduced this coin in the year 2000 with high hopes. They wanted to create a vibrant, modern dollar coin that would circulate widely, replacing the unpopular Susan B. Anthony dollar, which people often confused with quarters. The design was a breath of fresh air, featuring the stunning portrait of Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition, carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste. It was meant to be a coin for the new millennium, a symbol of exploration and Native American heritage. The Mint pulled out all the stops for this launch. They struck an absolutely massive number of these coins in Philadelphia, over 767 million of them to be exact, with a similar number coming out of the Denver Mint. They even partnered with retail giant Walmart to distribute the first 100 million coins, hoping to get them into Americans' hands immediately. The strategy was simple: flood the zone and make the golden dollar as common as the quarter. But something unexpected happened on the way to universal adoption. The American public, for whatever reason, simply didn't take to them. We were comfortable with our paper dollars, and the new coins often ended up in jars, forgotten drawers, or were hoarded by collectors right from the start. This is precisely where the story gets interesting for us. Because within those millions and millions of coins minted in that very first year, there are a select few that are not just rare, but astronomically valuable. The coin you have, the 2000p, is the foundation for some of the most legendary and sought-after errors and varieties in modern numismatics. The value isn't in the common coin you can pull from a bankroll, which is typically worth only its face value of $1. No, the real magic lies in the details that you can see with your own two eyes, the tiny differences that separate a pocket dollar from a collector's prize worth tens of thousands of dollars. The first and most famous of these is the Cheerios dollar. To generate excitement for the new coin, the Mint struck a special batch of 5,500 planchets with a unique, highly detailed reverse die featuring bold, realistic tail feathers on the eagle. These prototype coins were then sealed in boxes of Cheerios cereal in early 2000 as part of a promotional treasure hunt. For years, no one knew these special coins even existed until a sharp-eyed collector submitted one for grading in 2005. The difference is subtle but unmistakable when you know what to look for. The eagle's tail feathers on the Cheerios dollar are detailed and distinct, while on the regular coins they are smooth and flat. If you happen to have one of these, you're looking at a value of around $112.50 for a raw coin, but a certified gem can fetch thousands, with the highest grade selling for over $5,000 at auction. But the Cheerios dollar is just the beginning. There's another variety that is even rarer and more coveted, known as the Goodacre presentation dollar. The designer of the coin, the acclaimed sculptor Glenna Goodacre, cleverly requested her $5,000 design fee to be paid in the new $1 coins. The Mint struck 5,000 special coins for her with a unique, burnished finish that gave them a distinct, satiny sheen, different from the regular circulation strikes. These were presented to her in a special ceremony. For years, her studio sold these coins to collectors, and today, they are a prized piece of the Sacagawea puzzle. An ungraded Goodacre presentation coin is valued at over $530, and in high mint state condition, they could be worth thousands. Imagine owning a piece of art paid directly to the artist who created the very image on the coin. Now, if you really want to talk about life-changing money, we have to discuss the most famous and valuable error in the entire series, the 2000p Mule Sacagawea dollar. This coin is the holy grail. In the numismatic world, a mule is a coin struck with two dies that were never intended to be paired together. In this case, a small number of Sacagawea dollar planchets were mistakenly struck with an obverse die meant for a Washington quarter. The result is a coin that has the distinctive golden color and the Sacagawea reverse, but the front features George Washington. This error was never supposed to leave the Mint, but a few did, and they're now some of the most famous modern era coins in existence. The story goes that a couple of Mint employees may have been involved in their creation, but regardless of how they came to be, their value is undeniable. Only a handful are known to exist, perhaps as few as 18 or 19. One of these incredible mismatched coins, graded MS67 by NGC, sold at a heritage auction sale in September 2019 for a staggering $102,000. Let that sink in. A coin that started as a minting mistake that could have been spent for a pack of gum is now worth more than most people's homes. It is the absolute pinnacle of what a 2000 Sacagawea dollar can be, and it shows you the incredible potential hiding in plain sight. So, how do you know if your coin is the one? This is where you become the detective. First, take a very close look at the reverse, the side with the eagle. Are the tail feathers bold and distinct, with clear lines? If so, you might have a Cheerios dollar. Next, look at the finish of the coin. Does it have a special, satiny, almost burnished look compared to a regular, brighter golden dollar? That could be a sign of a good accurate presentation piece. And of course, flip that coin over. Is Sacagawea staring back at you? Or is it George Washington? If you see a quarter obverse on a golden dollar, do not pass go, do not spend it. Go directly to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. The maximum value you can achieve with your 2000 Sacagawea dollar is directly tied to which variety you have and its condition. We're talking about a spectrum that goes from a simple $1 face value all the way up to the six-figure sum of $102,000 for the mule error. The Cheerios dollar, in its absolute finest known condition, has sold for over $12,000. The good accurate presentation dollar, in top-tier grade, commands prices in the thousands as well. The key takeaway here is that every single 2000 dollar in existence has a chance to be special. It was a year of grand ambitions, unique promotions, and incredible mistakes, making it a gold mine for collectors. Therefore, my challenge to you today is simple. Go home, dig through that old jar of coins on your dresser, check your childhood piggy bank, or look through the drawer where you toss your spare change. Don't just see a $1 coin, see a possibility. See the potential for a story, for a piece of history, and for a financial windfall. The experts at the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, and the professional coin grading service, PCGS, are the gatekeepers who can authenticate and grade your treasure, turning a what-if into a what's-it worth. Never underestimate the value of paying attention to the small details. In a world of millions and billions, it's the tiny, almost invisible differences that create immense value. Your 2000 Sacagawea dollar might just be the key to unlocking a truly remarkable discovery. So get hunting, and who knows, the next time we talk, you might be the one holding a check for $100,000. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep your eyes open and your coins closer. Next coin, let's talk about the 2001 Sacagawea $1 coin, a piece of American history that sits quietly in drawers and coin jars across the country, waiting for its moment to be recognized. You're looking at the second chapter of the Golden Dollar experiment, a year that would ultimately seal the fate of this ambitious currency program. When you hold this coin, you're holding the final attempt by the United States Mint to push a dollar coin into mainstream circulation, a noble effort that ended in 2001 before the series was relegated to collectors only for many years. First up, let's understand the landscape into which this coin was born. The year 2000 had seen an absolute flood of Sacagawea dollars, with over 1 billion pieces struck to satisfy anticipated public demand. The Mint had partnered with Walmart, ran extensive advertising campaigns, and even placed them in cereal boxes to generate excitement. But the American public, comfortable with the green paper dollar, simply refused to adopt the golden coin. By the time 2001 arrived, the writing was on the wall, and production was slashed by a dramatic margin to just over 133 million total circulation strikes across both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Here is where the story becomes genuinely fascinating for collectors and sharp-eyed individuals like you. The 2001 P and 2001 D Sacagawea dollars, with mintages of approximately 62.5 million and 70.9 million respectively, represent a significant drop in production compared to the inaugural year. While these numbers still sound large, they're a whisper compared to the billions minted in 2000. This reduction in mintage is the first factor that whispers potential to the numismatic market. A coin from a lower mintage year always carries a different weight in collector circles than one from a year of massive oversaturation. Now, let's address the immediate question on your mind regarding current value. If you walk into a bank today and pull out a circulated, everyday 2001 P or 2001 D Sacagawea dollar that has been handled and shows the typical bag marks and slight wear, its value is exactly $1. That is the baseline reality. However, we are not here to talk about the ordinary. We are here to uncover the extraordinary. The moment you shift your focus from worn, circulated coins to those in pristine, untouched condition, the value begins its climb. A standard uncirculated example, graded mint state 65, can trade for around $8 to $10. But the real treasure hunt begins when we ascend the grading scale. The market for these coins is ruthlessly efficient, rewarding perfection in a way that can seem almost irrational until you understand the scarcity. While there are thousands of 2001 P dollars graded at mint state 65, 66, and even 67, the numbers fall off a cliff as you approach the highest grades. At mint state 68, the coin becomes genuinely scarce, and the value can jump to several $100s. Then we reach the pinnacle, mint state 69 and the flawless mint state 70. The absolute maximum value potential for a standard 2001 P Sacagawea dollar lies in achieving that perfect, unimprovable mint state 70 grade. These are coins with no contact marks, perfect luster, and flawless strike, essentially as perfect as the day they were made. The population of such coins in MS 70 is extraordinarily tiny. An auction record for a 2001 P Sacagawea dollar graded MS 70 could realistically reach into the thousands of dollars. There have been auction listings with estimates as high as $1,200, demonstrating the premium that the market places on absolute perfection. The maximum you could achieve for a standard business strike is firmly in the four-figure range if you have that perfect gem. Do not overlook the proof versions from the San Francisco Mint, the 2001 proofs. These were struck specifically for collectors with specially polished dies and planchets, creating a mirror-like background and a frosted, sculpted foreground, a finish known as cameo contrast. The mintage for these proofs was over 3.1 million, which is substantial. However, the value of these proofs tells a cautionary and instructive tale about the modern coin market. In the early 2000s, perfect par, 70 examples of this coin were selling for thousands of dollars. A PR 72,001 S Sacagawea sold for over $3,300 at auction in 2004, as collectors raced to own the perfect specimen of this new series. But then, something happened. As more and more collectors submitted their pristine proofs for grading, the population of PR 70 coins exploded. Today, with thousands of examples certified as perfect, the price has adjusted dramatically. You can now purchase a certified perfect par 72,001 S Sacagawea dollar for as little as $18 to $30. This is a critical lesson in rarity and market dynamics. The maximum value you can achieve with a proof is now in the low tens of dollars, not thousands, because the supply of perfect coins turned out to be far greater than anyone anticipated. The historical significance of the 2001 Sacagawea dollar adds another layer to its story. This was the year the Mint experimented with special rinses to combat the tarnishing and spotting issues that plagued the 2000 issues due to the manganese brass composition. Approximately 2,500 experimental specimens were treated with anti-tarnishing chemicals, creating a distinct golden brown color. These experimental pieces, if you can identify and authenticate them, could represent a significant premium over standard issues, adding another layer of potential value to your search. What about errors? While the 2001 series does not have a headline-grabbing error like the famous 2000 P-Mule that pairs a Sacagawea reverse with a Washington quarter obverse, minting mistakes can and do happen in every year. Look for off-center strikes, broad strikes, or planchet errors. These anomalies can turn a common date into a coveted prize. Even a small minting error can boost the value of your coin well into the hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity and rarity of the mistake. Always examine your coin under good light for anything that looks out of the ordinary. The survival rate of these coins is another factor that influences long-term potential. Because the public never really used them, the vast majority of 2001 Sacagawea dollars never entered circulation. They sat in Federal Reserve vaults or were tucked away by collectors. The survival rate for mint state coins is estimated to be over 98%, meaning that there is a massive supply of uncirculated examples waiting in the wings. This abundance suppresses the value of all but the very highest grades. You're not just competing against other collectors. You are competing against millions of untouched coins sitting in government vaults. However, do not let that discourage you. The beauty of coin collecting lies in the hunt for the exceptional within the common. The 2001 Sacagawea dollar, for all its availability in lower grades, presents a challenge. Can you find the needle in the haystack? Can you locate that 1 in a million MS 70 gem that escaped the mint with perfect surfaces and strike? That pursuit is what drives the market and what makes checking your change so thrilling. Looking to the future, will the 2001 Sacagawea dollar become more valuable? The answer depends entirely on grade and variety. Common, circulated examples will likely never be worth more than $1. But high-grade, certified examples, especially those with the experimental rinse or those that achieve the perfect MS-70 grade, have a strong historical narrative that appeals to collectors. As time passes and the pool of available high-grade coins shrinks as they are permanently placed in collections, the laws of supply and demand suggest that the best of the best should appreciate. So what is the maximum you can sell your 2001 Sacagawea dollar for today? If you have a regular circulated coin, the maximum is a single dollar. If you have a standard uncirculated coin in MS-65 to MS-67, you're looking at a maximum of $10 to $20. If you have an exceptional MS-68 or MS-69, you could be looking at several $100s. And if, against all odds, you possess a certified perfect MS-70 with impenetrable surfaces and strike, the maximum you can achieve pushes past the $1,000 mark, potentially reaching as high as $1,200 to $1,500 of strong auction. For the proofs, the maximum is capped at around $30 for a perfect example.